Hello Leo, I'm Lucy Ravenstone and welcome to my channel. So guys, I'm doing this month a little bit different. This is the month of May, it's my birthday on the 3rd of May. And so I'm going to do just part 1 this month, and then I'm going to do a Mercury retrograde reading, so please keep an eye out for that if you are interested in learning the energies that you're going to be dealing with during Mercury and retrograde. Because we all definitely, most of the time, need some help regarding those energies. It can be a little difficult to work with, especially after this year we've had, Leo. So I am using the Queen of the Moon Oracle and the Energy Oracle, which kind of very tarot-like, in my opinion. But they are classed as Oracle cards. I feel like I'm really low down. Maybe not. I'm just feeling that. Okay, 2 cards. Interesting. Okay, Leo, let's have a look what you have in store. Okay, so interestingly, we start with darkness. Long night moon. Okay, it's kind of giving me very deep vibes. Kind of contemplation. I do feel like there's a lot of deep feelings for you right now. How I'm doing this reading, how I've done it for the other signs so far, is kind of beginning of May, middle of May, end of May. So this is coming into May. I definitely feel like you're in this space where there's a lot of thoughts going on, a lot of contemplating. For some, I'm kind of getting double vibes here. For some of you, this can be a very positive thing. It means that you are, kind of going within and seeking out what it is you desire, figuring things out. But for some of you, I feel like this perhaps is, as darkness kind of represents, in more of a negative aspect of us focusing kind of on the bad rather than the good. So I'm definitely getting 2 vibes here. It feels very still either way. I do get the sense of there being going somewhere, but I kind of, for some of you, I feel like you just can't see what's ahead of you. We will read the reading, but I will say that I do think right now with what's going on in the world, it's kind of, we need to stop focusing on the future, in the sense of stop looking forward before we start living. It's kind of like the Decide to Be Happy Now card that comes out with the Archangel Michaels, and it's sort of saying like, instead of looking towards an event to be happy, so for example, my birthday is the 3rd of May, I could be like, oh my god, it's going to be the best, we're going to have the best times, and then all the way up until that time I'm just kind of procrastinating and not getting anything done because I'm choosing to not live in the now. I'm waiting until my birthday. It's kind of that kind of vibe, and I feel like, Leo, that you are very much kind of like, you just can't see a future, and sometimes this can be kind of creating this stagnant energy where you're just not sure where you're going. But I want to kind of say, focus and live in the now. The energies in the air that we're working with this year are very much be in the now. Okay, so our first card is Indecision reversed. Let me pick it up so I can get a better view. Interesting. So I'm definitely again getting that sense of just not knowing where you're going. I'll show you the imagery that I'm seeing. So upright, she is coming to kind of a fork in the road. You can go this way or that way, but there's no one way forward. You have to make a decision. Now you are reversed, and I kind of get this sense that you just do not know which way you're going. I'm getting the sense of feeling planted in the place that you are, kind of like your roots are running deep and you're kind of like feeling stuck is what I want to say, and it's causing you to be indecisive. And I get this sense that some of you, Leo, are really looking into the past. Now, the next card is Yin Yang. So I'll show you the Yin Yang. This is about creating balance in your life. And I definitely have this sense, Leo, and I feel like it's come through in quite a few of our last readings. And I do know that it's been quite prominent for you, Leo, to be looking in the past this year. If I remember correctly, April was kind of getting a bit better for you guys. But May seems to be like we need to remind ourselves to be balancing. And for some reason I am really drawn to the yellow and the blue. And I mean, this kind of can kind of represent day and night as well for me, and especially in the yin yang I'm getting this moon and the sun, so I'm getting this kind of balancing. So maybe there is a balance here that's needed. If some of you are like, you know, more night owls, perhaps you need to be going to bed early, get a routine in there, because it definitely has a sense of rebalancing. If you are, however, you know, an early riser, again, yeah, I'm definitely getting this lack of sleep might be a problem, and I do think for sleep is like really, really vital for our mental health. It's vital for so many things like weight loss, mental health, just functioning normally. It kind of like sleep is needed. So if you are having trouble there, this is an avenue perhaps to look on how you can better your lifestyle, how you can become more healthier, how can you bring your life into balance. And it's kind of setting yourself up with a healthier routine seems to be what's coming through for me for you. But definitely creating a balance of kind of anything that is in too much excess. I feel like the way to look at this card is really to bring it down into balance, because I'm just getting this kind of imbalance. But I definitely feel like some of you being kind of either not getting enough sleep or having kind of rough sleep, interrupted sleep. Something is interrupting your cycles, so keep that in mind, Leo. Interesting. So the next one is journey. Again, you have journey reversed. I don't know if that's focusing or not. The light's terrible. I think we're going to be getting a storm. Yeah, that really is bad. Okay. Weirdly though. Interesting. So what looks kind of foggy on there is the rainbows in this card. Now I feel like, again, this is you being indecisive. Journey is all about, when it's upright, Journey is about she's on this wonderful adventure, she's packed her bags and off she goes, and I feel like you have a stall in your journey, and this again has been a theme through this year for you. And I definitely think, Leo, what's going on for your vibe this year is very much needing to find your way. I feel like you just got lost along the way, and this is kind of like part of it, is figuring out your place in your world. But yeah, she's giving me this sense of, again, bringing her past with her, holding her past too close to her, and kind of feeling like the journey's behind as well, which is very interesting. I feel like you've got so much ahead of you, because here again, on both of these, indecision and journey, which are kind of representing the same thing for me here, it's kind of like there are pathways ahead of you, like options, choices, ways to go, but you're just kind of stuck in the before those things. Like you're not getting close enough to be able to make those choices or feel that you're ready to make those choices. So I definitely get the sense with this first column, that darkness and this being a kind of space of going within, observing, and kind of being in that darkness space. And again, long night can also indicate, with what I was feeling with that Yin Yang card, it kind of feels like, again, the late night, you've got that long night moon. It's like kind of like when there is the dark moon, that darkest period, it just seems to be kind of like looking into a void and being ever long. That's why, to me, I'm definitely getting this sense of maybe your nights are too long, sleep being interrupted, and that being an aspect to look at of where you can make your life easier in that area. Even if that means taking naps to balance out what you're liking at nighttime. If you are more of a napper, some people do better with naps, some people do better with long sleeps. I know I'm a long sleeper personally. Like, if I have a nap in the daytime, it will totally interrupt everything, and I'll just feel like I've been hit by a train or something when I wake up until I'm ready, until I go back to sleep and have a full proper sleep. I just feel like I'm tired then for the rest of the day. Okay. Next we have, so I feel like, again, I will remind you, I feel like that's the beginning. We're coming into the middle of May, and then we have the end of May. Middle of May, so the 10th of May is when Mercury in retrograde begins. So this is where things will come to the surface that you have been wanting to kind of keep behind you, or shoving aside, and this is sort of saying, like, you still need to deal with this. It is a planet of communication, so that kind of means that you may get conflict, you may get problems with your internet, any form of communication is really affected during this time. So be aware of what is affected in your life in this area. So the first card is assessing. So you're still in this space of assessing, thinking on things, but she feels like she is more prepared now. So I feel like you're going from this being in, I'll show you how they are. I hope this is the right order for you. Being in this darkness, you're moving on to the assessing. So I feel like you're observing and then you're assessing. So it's a good space. That means there's this gradual flow. So I'm liking that. She's giving me movement and perhaps kind of going somewhere as well. So keep that in mind. If there's an opportunity to do something which involves getting away or doing something with friends, I definitely feel like that could be something that's really beneficial for you. And there's a spark of an idea ahead of you. So definitely something ahead. Plan ahead for something. I don't know what, but plan ahead for something, Leo. Your first card is Broken Heart, and I have had this come up for you again. It seems to be a theme that a lot of you Leos are grieving. This could be, again, sometimes with Broken Heart, it's not literally a physical relationship. It sometimes can be you breaking your own heart, or a grief, a loss. However, in whatever shape or form, you are broken-hearted during this time. And I definitely feel like this is what's kind of putting you in that on the hold kind of vibe. I do feel like it is mending, but there's emotions still attached to this. Okay, I'll give you a drink. I'll pour some of my water into this one. So, my little boy wants a drink. There you go, Ready Bug. I feel like there are still emotions here, even though you are healing. I feel like you're getting used to it in some aspects in regards to love and relationships. So those of you who represents that way, I do feel like it's getting easier for you and you are repairing the heart, but I do feel like there's still emotions there. And I do want to say, like, if you are dealing with grief, it's not that, it never goes away. However, it does heal to a degree where it gets kind of, I wouldn't say easier, it's more like we find our space in the world where that exists kind of separately from the life we're living. I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, the next card is the Thinking Woman reversed. You do kind of have a lot of reversed here, which, I mean, it doesn't mean a whole lot depending on the card, but it kind of is meaning something for me. Let's see. Okay, she represents you for me. There is a new beginnings here, but I feel like, again, your focus is not on that. You are focusing on the grief. In the way that this deck is going, so that was above it like this, and then we have this down here. To me, she's more focused on here. So this is her new beginnings. And she's more focused more towards the broken heart. So the past, again, Leo, I do get this a lot for you. So you really are focusing on the past. But there are new beginnings ahead. And there's learning to get from this as well. And it does feel like in the past, yes, you need to bring through things you learned. Bring the positives with you always. However, sometimes somewhere within there's also lessons that we learn which can come with the heartbreak. But interestingly, even though she's looking at, I feel like she is looking forward at me actually, which is down here on deceit. Now I think I'm going to cut out a little section because I just got interrupted again by my son. However, like, I was saying something along the lines of, like, for example, if you're cheated on, that it will it's taking the lessons from that. Now she's looking down at deceit, and that's what's made me rethink that, because I was going to cut that out and not go there because I was interrupted. However, there's something here about deceit. I feel like you feel deceived, and this is what you're now focusing on. Again, I would like to kind of point out that holding on to the past and kind of going over it and over it again, as though you're still living it, is not going to help you. And I feel like this is where you're at. You're stuck between a broken heart and deceit, and so you are there. You cannot move forward towards this kind of new beginnings and learning and gifts, because I feel like you are just focusing on something that's happened to you, and it really is kind of dominating in your life, Leo. And I've had this come up for you several times since I've been doing these readings for you. Like, Leo, you have been going through this, so I do deeply feel for you. However, I still feel like you're still stuck in this energy. Let me have a look at this deceit card for you. There is a sneaky aspect that I'm getting from it, and it being kind of like, I feel like you're wrapping up the person, like, if this is a breakup, I feel like in this you're wrapping them up as though they were this golden parcel, you know, they were the thing. And the thing is, like, there was deceit there anyway, so I feel like it's not beneficial for you to keep holding on to this ideology that this person was amazing, because again, yes, you feel there was deceit there, and perhaps there was, perhaps there wasn't. That's not really what matters here. However, I do get a confirmation that that could perhaps be the case. What is that in his hand? There are coins falling from his hand. I am getting caught in the coins. I feel like basically it's not... There's fortune being lost by your focus on the past here as well, which is very interesting. I don't know why that's come through like that. But take it as you will, Leo. Okay, moving towards the end of May, we have boundaries. Now, she is in her little bubble. I'll show you this. It's quite a pretty card. She's in a bubble under the sunsets with the moon. It's very beautiful. Now, you having your healthy boundaries is very, very important. Now, I can see that during all of this, I feel like that you have kind of... Actually, I do feel like there's been boundaries this whole time, and I feel like this is what's happening, is like you've created this kind of big walls around you. However, I do want to say, do protect your energy. I feel like there's an innocence to you and that perhaps someone might take advantage of, so don't just jump straight into something. So for example, I feel like if there is a relationship that you're moving forward to, assess and observe for sure, because that's kind of where we're at, but keep your boundaries in place, protect your energy, because I feel like it could be someone taking advantage of this vulnerability, which is not a good thing. Yes, be wary of someone's thorns. It's kind of what I say. I feel like this might be what the deceit is as well, is I feel like someone might be being deceiving with you, but because your focus is kind of elsewhere, I feel like these could basically be like a band-aid. However, just be wary of their kind of what do you call it? Be wary of their intents, basically, and their intentions. Okay, so the next one is Daughter Spirits. This is a really good one. I feel like this is a great time for you to be learning self-discovery and kind of being in a place where you can trust yourself. So it definitely feels like you're going through this transition of healing, which can be quite tough. Healing times are tough, but they do lead you on towards kind of an enlightened state of where you can look at situations from a much healthier perspective, and I definitely get a sense for you. And I feel like, again, it's regaining your innocence, because I got this innocent aspect from the boundaries card, and I'm getting it again from this dove. I don't know off the top of my head the symbology for the dove, but it gives me this sense of innocence. They're white, they're fresh, and they are lovebirds as well. They pair for life, and I feel like this is you coming forward. And I do feel like this is the potential for you to find new love as well. But I do get this sense of moving away from any current energy that's with you. I feel like they are not meant for you, and that there's something more, but the only way you're going to get that is by moving away from that. Very interesting, Leo, that I get that for you. Do not make any plans. Don't jump into it. This is not any time to sign contracts, not any time to commit. This is kind of like I'm getting this sense of being free, getting this sense of you kind of just flowing, and don't jump into anything, don't make any major plans. However, with that assessing, I did get this sense of making plans with friends. That's completely different. This is more anything like legal, commitment. So again, if there is someone that you're interested in, just be wary if you have already been, kind of seeing each other or something. I do feel like there could be a hidden aspect which is not for you. That's not necessarily going to be the case for everyone, so please be mindful and use your own intuition. However, I do feel like this is what it's sort of saying, is like, this is not for you. If it's just begun, there's something sneaky here. Trust your gut on that, because you'll probably feel like, hang on, I have been feeling like that. And I do always say, always trust your gut, don't waste your time. And trust me, I know how that is, because we've all been there. Because I do feel like what's ahead of you is much better than what's right in front of you. So don't be committing to anybody who's not worthy of your time. And I do get this sense of you being guided as well. There is a white feather in here after the dove, and do get this sense of you trusting in your intuition and that you are being divinely guided. And it can be that you literally have a little guardian with you, a loved one that's looking out for you. Next we have the Angel of Balance and Adjacent Possibilities. These are both reversed. Now again, the Angel of Balance gives me very similar vibes to what I had with the Yin Yang. And it kind of is just, you know, you being imbalanced and trying to find that balance. I do get this sense of you being very vulnerable, and that you are being guided and guarded during this time. However, like, be aware of your emotions. I kind of feel like sometimes we can get in this sense where we block all our emotions on purpose. We kind of hide them from the world. We hide them from ourselves because we just don't want to face that. This is giving me that, and I kind of feel like you need to acknowledge them, and kind of see yourself within them. Like, this can be a strength, being somebody who knows their own emotions, know how they feel, and be able to channel them in a healthy way. That's a very positive strength to have. And it's kind of like, you know, acknowledging how you feel and expressing that to somebody else can really be a good thing. This adjacent possibilities, it is again giving me that you have all of these options, but I do feel like the direction that you've been going in, and I would like to say this, for example, if you are seeing someone and they're not right for you, it's kind of like, because there's other possibilities out there that are better options for you. I do feel like the options that you've been making for yourself recently perhaps might not be in alignment with who you are or what you want. It may be more of a coping mechanism, so be mindful of that. It is giving me coping mechanism vibes from it. I'll show you the imagery. It's really hard in this light. Maybe the further away, it's not getting any better. Me. Okay, kinda. Okay. Excuse my nails. I've painted on top of gel nails that are breaking off. But yeah, it gives me this kind of clinical vibe of kind of like a mental institution. Every time I get this card, I think this, and I kind of feel like it's because that's kind of like what the inside of our brain gets like with it, is that it's like a bit insane, and we're making all the wrong choices for ourselves. Perhaps because we are just trying to cope, which is perfectly fine. Understand your vulnerability that comes with that angel of balance. But yeah, Leo, honestly, the main message to this whole reading is kind of like take a step back and nurture yourself. I would say that's probably the main thing here, is understand that you need to stop living in the past, but don't beat yourself up about it. Acknowledge the things that you've learned along the way, and know that there's so much more for you ahead of you. And that it's not just darkness, and the only way that you can start activating that is by just, you know, being kind to yourself, and make sure you are protecting your boundaries, even in times of vulnerability, if not especially in times of vulnerability. But yeah, thank you very much, Leah.